What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact method that I use to help me get my dream physique. In 2025, I was able to lose 20 kilos, get abs for the first time since I was a kid, and actually have a physique that I was proud of. I'm going to share with you my mistakes, the struggles that I went through, and what to expect on this fat loss journey. I will tell you straight off the bat that getting abs is not easy. It's simple by principle, but it takes a lot of work, discipline, consistency, and the ability to say no. So if you're looking for some secret hack or some special trick or some special protein powder to help you lose fat and get that six-pack fast, there is none. It requires discipline, consistency, and the right approach. In 5.5 weeks, I was able to drop 6 kilos and get a six-pack. I'm gonna show you the exact method that I use with my training, cardio, and diet to help lose body fat fast and achieve that faster than I did. I'll share with you my mistakes, the struggles, and the expectations that you can have. So let's get into it. If you haven't already, do subscribe. It helps me out a lot as I continue to make more videos just like this. So I'm gonna be breaking down this video into 3 main sections. Number 1 is your diet, number 2 is your cardio, and 3 is your training. All 3 are very important if you want to get a six-pack fast, but by far the most important one and where you should be putting the most energy in is your diet. So many people focus on going to the gym 6 times a week, doing hours of cardio. If you're able to nail your diet, everything else comes easy. It's simple. Going on a treadmill and just walking at a zone 2 or zone 3 heart rate is simple. Chuck on a movie, and just walk. When it comes to training, if you decide to show up to your workouts, once you're already there, short and sweet, get the job done. Training can really be fun. But with your diet, you have to learn to say no to going out at certain times. You have to learn to play the long game. Yes, you have to sacrifice a lot of foods that you might usually eat or snack on, but down the line, you will be able to have those foods and maintain that lean physique. All right, so let's get into it. Number 1 is your diet. You've heard it all before. You need to be in a calorie deficit. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body is a lot more prone to using muscle mass as energy. So with this, you have to have at least 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight every single day. So I'm 70 kilos. I want to get down to 64 kilos. 70 times 2 is 140. I'm going to add a bit more. I'm going to be eating 180 grams of protein every single day. You need to make sure you have enough protein in the bank for your body to use as energy and to use for muscle protein synthesis and rebuilding your muscle tissue. You need to first know what your maintenance calories are, then you minus 300 to 600 calories from your maintenance calories. That will put you in a deficit, enough for you to be able to still perform in the gym and lift heavy, do your cardio, and still feel good. Obviously, the heavier you are in a deficit, the faster you're able to get there. But remember, the game is consistency. If you're able to maintain a 200 to 400 calorie deficit for 10 weeks compared to doing it for only 2 weeks, but in the 3rd week, you mess up, you eat a bunch of crap, and then now you kind of got to reset. The biggest thing is consistently being in that calorie deficit. So don't be afraid to eat closer towards your maintenance calories. So if you want a six-pack for men, you need to be at 10% body fat. Anything more than that, depending on your muscle insertions and your genetics, you may be able to still see it, but 10% is the sweet spot. 10% or below. 12 to 15%, you will still see a definition, you will still see lines around your abdomen area, but it won't be as distinguished. If you want a clear-cut, chiseled physique, you need to hit 10% body fat. For women, your marker is going to be 15% body fat, and that is not something you can sustainably be for a long period of time. So once you've cut that, you've got to be in a reverse and slowly start to build up again. If you're able to nail your nutrition, it will set you up for your cardio and for your training as well. Being able to say no to the foods that you love is one of the hardest things to do. Well, if you're able to do that, then pushing to failure in the gym isn't going to be difficult. Doing an extra 10 minutes on a cardio machine isn't going to be difficult. Nail your nutrition. I put so many resources on YouTube for you to watch to be able to calculate your maintenance calories, your calorie deficit, your macro distribution. Go ahead and watch them if you don't know how to do that. The foods that I ate were very simple. For breakfast, I would have protein oats, I would have mixed berries and peanut butter. A decent amount of fats, low GI carbs, and fiber from the berries to help me keep full. Having a good amount of fats in the morning is good to help keep you satiated. Low GI carbs is going to slowly burn throughout the day. You have simple carbs or refined carbs that when you eat it, that will completely spike your blood sugar because it goes straight into your system. With low GI carbs, it will slowly burn all that sugar, that carbs. Oats is also one of the highest foods with fiber. So when you have that, a high amount of fiber will help keep you full. And for me, that was just my go-to breakfast. I kept it simple, quick and easy. It doesn't take a lot of time to make. On the weekends, I would have things like toast, lean cut bacon, eggs. Eggs are great. 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat. You just got to be mindful of the amount of fat that it has. Super nutrient dense. For lunch and dinner, it was relatively similar. You want some sort of a lean cut protein. You don't want too fatty foods because that's just going to take so much of your calories. And remember, you're in a calorie deficit. You want to eat a decent amount. So I would have foods like extra lean beef mince. I would have rump steak, chicken breast, occasionally chicken thighs. Chicken tenderloins are good as well. If you're a vegetarian, then silk tofu. If you're in Australia, there's this company called V2. It has a lot of this like fake meat stuff. Like there were these like fake chicken tenders, which actually tastes amazing. Fake beef patties, fake beef mince. Like it actually tasted good. One of the superfoods I had also was prawns. Prawns is super good, super nutrient dense, super high in protein with low calories. I had that in almost every single food. You can have it with rice, you can have it in noodles. Being an Asian, that's the kind of foods and kind of carbs that I love having. But I kept it very simple. A whole foods diet with high fiber, high protein, a moderate amount of carbs and fats. And also when you're on a cut, you tend to be very creative with your food. I found so many low calorie, high protein foods that helped me in my cut. Some of them being these pho bo noodles, which was really good. A lot of soup, only 200 calories. Another one was pork crackling, super high in protein, low in calories, low in fats, and low in carbs. The only thing is that it is high in sodium, so more sodium that you have, the more water you'll have, the hungrier you'll feel if you don't quench your thirst. But when it comes to diet, keep it super simple or be super on top of reading the label. Know exactly how much you're eating. There is none of this winging it with your diet. You need to know what you're eating. Download MyFitnessPal and track all the foods that you eat. There's literally no other way around it unless you have Superman genetics or elite genetics where you're able to eat whatever you want and still maintain a six-pack. And if you are also very physically active. But when it comes to nutrition, find the foods that are low calories that you actually enjoy. Stick to a whole foods diet, keep it simple and track your food. Find your go-to meals. I have 5 meals in my arsenal where I can just pull out at any time. I enjoy it, it's easy to make, and it's something that I know that works. If you want a couple of recipes, message me on Instagram. I'll send you 10 recipes that you can have that I had when I was on my cut. All right, number 2 is your cardio. When it comes to cardio, you want to find something that is relatively steady. If you do high intensity cardio, it will make you hungrier. If you're able to manage that hunger and to be able to manage and control yourself, then go for it, do high intensity. But I really like just walking. Every single day, I would hit 400 calories on a cardio machine, and then that would be my standard. I would put myself in zone 2 or zone 3. So for me, that was 130 beats per minute at a minimum, and I wouldn't exceed 160. Putting myself in a steady state where I was able to just do cardio 30 to 45 minutes every single day. I would chuck on a movie, I would watch Netflix. That would be my time to just switch off, relax, and enjoy. Cardio is going to be your best friend. Find out what works for you. If you're not able to commit to the gym, then go for small runs around the block. Be creative. On average, you should be brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, and if you brush your teeth twice a day, that's 4 minutes of cardio that you can integrate into your day. Go up and down the stairs or give yourself a goal. You can't finish brushing your teeth until you've hit 400 steps. When it comes to a cut, you find these certain tricks and certain hacks that are able to help you stay in a calorie deficit. Cardio is essentially elevating your heart rate and sustaining that period. So that can be on a bike, Stairmaster, walking, rowing. Find what works for you. If you enjoy swimming and want to get into that, go for it. If you enjoy fighting, go do some Muay Thai or boxing or wrestling classes. When I was doing that, I lost weight so fast. because you naturally just burn so much calories doing it. And it doesn't feel like cardio, it's a skill that you're actually picking up. And lastly is your training. When you're in a calorie deficit, it may be a little bit hard to push hard and go to failure. But when it comes to training, I would say that you would need to be training at least at a bare minimum 3 times a week. There are different splits that you can do: pull, push, legs, upper, lower, upper. You can do chest and arms, back and shoulders, legs. There are so many different ones. Figure out what works for you and what you enjoy so that you can actually stick to it and be consistent. The best training program is going to be one where you can push hard and stay consistent. If you're able to do that, you will win. And when you're trying to get abs, it is super important to maintain your resistance training. Otherwise, you'll just get skinny fat, you'll lose a bunch of muscle. The biggest mistake I made when it comes to training is listening to people that didn't have abs. They told me that you just need to lift heavy in your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press. You don't need to do it. Abs are made in the kitchen. You don't need to do specific ab and core training. That is the biggest lie. In your bulks, you should be pushing hard. Your abdominals have like so many different muscle groups: external obliques, internal obliques, transverse abdominis. Like there's so many muscles, like you need to be training it specifically. If you want to improve your big lifts, you should especially be training your core, because your core is what is required to transfer force from your lower body to your upper body. Train your core specifically, your upper, your lower, your obliques. You should be very specific and you should be training heavy. Things like cable crunches, things like dragonflies or decline bench sit-ups. These are very good exercises that you can progressively overload. Hanging leg raises is also one of my favorites. Make sure that you are doing specific core training. You can do it at the end of every single time you go to the gym. If you're training 3 times a week, smash out core at the end of every single workout. If you really want to focus on abs, then do it at the start. When you're in a calorie deficit, you are going to be losing size and mass. You want to be able to preserve as much muscle mass as possible by training hard in the gym. Track your weights, know what you're progressing to, and aim to maintain your strength at the bare minimum. At the end of it, each of these 3 things are going to complement each other. If your diet is on point, then you're going to be able to perform strong in the gym. If your training is perfect and your cardio is perfect, but your diet is thrown completely out the window, you will not get abs. If you're too focused on snacking and binge eating and you haven't yet controlled that, then you will never reach that 6-pack goal. So all in all, nutrition, cardio, and training. With nutrition, you want to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. Don't be afraid to be closer towards your maintenance calories. The goal is consistency and sustainability. High protein, high fiber, moderate amount of carbs and fats. Watch my previous videos to know how to be in a calorie deficit. With your cardio, have a daily step goal or a cardio goal or a time goal. You could do 300 calories a day or 45 minutes walking or 10,000 steps in a day. Find out what works for you. But when it comes to fat loss, it's very difficult to overdo it in cardio. When it comes to your training, make sure that you are lifting heavy at least 3 times a week. Specifically train your core and track your weights. Make sure you're maintaining your strength at the bare minimum. If you guys want more specific help, message me on Instagram, watch my previous videos, or follow me on Instagram where I post daily tips on nutrition and training to help you lose fat and build muscle.